It's Lime to race. All right, Lime Rock Park. Woo! This is one of the first tracks that I ever felt I kind of got at least a little bit of a handle on. We're doing it here this week in the Formula Ford Trophy, the Open Series, and I'm excited for it. I hope participation will go up a little bit. Last week it wasn't that great. People didn't care for Zolder, I don't think. This is one of my better tracks, I think. I was able to get a 56.967. I think the really fast guys are going to be doing like 55s. So we'll see. I'm like a second plus slower than that. We'll see if we can kind of hold on and hold our own and get some points this week. But yeah, I'm excited. And without further ado, we'll show you our good lap and then we'll talk about how we did it. And then we'll come back here and kind of finish up.
That was a 57.2. Sector 3 times okay. Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 time is okay. That last lap was a 57.0. Sector 3 time is fast.
All right, Lime Rock Park, Grand Prix layout. We got ourselves a 56.967. This week it is hot as heck. So be careful on the first couple laps. It's going to be slick, and it's going to be slick the whole time. Anyway, let's go here and see how we did it. We got a decent run off the last corner, and we're just going to head out here full speed. We're going to start braking probably around the 2 here. It's going to be pretty heavy braking zone, and we're going to start downshifting. I like to downshift going into this corner kind of in a straight line, and this corner is a little weird in that we kind of lift a lot of the way through it. We're not it's counterintuitive. We're kind of early on when I was learning this course, I'd want to put the like mid throttle through here, but we just kind of want to lay off the throttle. I'm just doing a little blip there to kind of settle the car a little bit. And then if we put the throttle, if we wait to put the throttle on, we can have more acceleration for longer. It's kind of like a calculus equation. We've got more area under the curve of full throttle. So we're just going to start putting the full throttle on here and turn the car in and keep it over here. And then we're going to track out all the way. We got to make sure we can use a little bit more. We can get over here. I didn't there. But I've also had laps when I was practicing where I went over too far, and we ended up if you touch that grass there at that kind of speed with that lateral force, you're just gonna go way off. So yeah, we're just keeping it a little bit more inside. Then we're gonna track over here. We're not gonna go all the way. There's just kind of not enough time to get all the way to the other side of the track. So we're just gonna kind of come out to the middle here. We're gonna hit the brakes a little bit to kind of grip up the front as we're turning in, and I downshift a second here. Then I'm just gonna here, it's the kind of the opposite of what we were saying before. I'm putting a little bit of mid throttle halfway through here, and we're gonna try and keep this as tight to the left hand side here. We could use more throttle and be faster in this part of the track, but that would compromise our line up front here, because this little area of going fast is not as much as this big long straight that's coming up. So we want to optimize for that. So we're just going to try and keep it on the left hand side as much as we can here. We can get full throttle now, and we can hold it now because we are all the way over here, and that opens up this corner more, so we can use the full throttle. We're going to turn in, kind of turn in where it starts to straighten out. Depending on the car, this little, where you can see where the line kind of squiggles, I guess, if that can be a verb, there can be a good marker too. But we're turning in here, just keeping it full throttle, going up to third, and we can carry that kind of speed here. First lap might not, and if you end up where you're exiting this corner and you gave it a little bit too much juice and you couldn't keep the car on the inside, or you end up like you're over here, you just have to lift a little bit in this corner here, which again compromises this whole run up here. But you know, you find yourself in different situations, you goof things up, that's, you know, what you have to do to fix it. All right, so our next breaking point is there's this little where the angle of this line becomes more acute. So it's like pretty much a straight continuous line here, and then there's this angle. That's kind of what I use as my marker for my breaking point here. It's pretty heavy on the breaking point, and we're gonna come and try and get our left wheels onto this little curbing here, and we're gonna get down to first. So first, and then we're gonna turn in, and we're trying to make this kind of as straight as possible. So again, we're on the brakes. We're gonna slowly let off the brakes, keeping that as we're turning, we're keeping that weight on the front wheels. And then we're just gonna let it go, and then as we approach that apex, we're gonna give it the gas. And we weren't like quite lined up right, so we're waiting until we get lined up where we want to be before we hit the gas full way. And then just all the way through, and it's full throttle through here. And then there's not a real good marker for where we want to lift here, but we're gonna have a little lift. It's kind of right before, if you're watching your lap timing, it's right before the sector ends, kind of. In other cars, I've used that sector change as kind of my brake marker. On some layouts, like the classic layout where you don't have that chicane, you'll kind of need to slow down a little bit more here and tap the brakes, or some certain cars you'll have to do that, and that's a good spot for that. But this, we just want to lift a little bit before that, and we're just lifting and giving it a little bit of throttle, and then we're just going to kind of, as the grip dictates, kind of try and feed it back in. One thing I noticed through all my practice, if you want to avoid clipping this curb here. It unsettles the car in a not great way. It's not the end of the world, but it'll slow you down because you have to lift a little bit more. And we're going to track all the way out here, full throttle again, and then just a little bit after we kind of hit the bottom here, like we're going downhill, and it's going to be a little bit after we flatten out. We're going to lift a little bit. Again, just give it partial throttle. Again, we don't want to hit this curb here, because that'll bump up the front right, and we're lose our half of our grip when that wheel's in the air on our turning wheels. So we want to keep that on the ground, and then we're just, you know, kind of as we hit the apex, we're gonna feed the throttle back in and come all the way out, and it's just full throttle through the rest of the lap. We got ourselves a 56,967. So yeah, pretty proud of that. Took a while to get there. There's a lot of nuance to get that last little bit of speed out. It took me a while to get down below the 57s, and I hit the 57s pretty easy. It's a pretty wide gap there, but first little the turn one, the left-hander and the right-hander are kind of my Achilles heel. That's the areas where I think I'm the slowest. So that's what I've got to work on, and we'll keep on doing it this week. If you want to watch along live when we're doing our races, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman, and hit the thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and the subscribe button helps out a ton. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.